Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today we're zooming in on Cloudastructure, ticker CSAI, a player in the cloud-based AI video surveillance and remote guarding arena. You sent us a collection of information covering their recent financial performance, a technical snapshot of their stock, and an overview of the company itself. Our goal here is to extract the key insights from these sources so you get a clear understanding of what's happening.
Yes, we have data points ranging from some pretty impressive revenue growth figures and recent investments to, well, the inherent volatility of their stock and what analysts might be suggesting. Let's try and unpack these details and give you a much clearer picture of Cloudastructure.
Okay, let's begin by looking at their financial performance. For the full year 2024, they reported a really significant jump in revenue, a 125% increase, bringing their total to $1.4 million.
That's a big jump.
It is. And what really stands out when you dig into that number is where the growth is coming from.
What's particularly interesting is the uneven nature of that growth.
Yeah.
While subscription revenue saw a healthy increase of 48%, which is good, their remote guarding services experienced explosive growth, like 404%, and hardware also had a substantial rise of 250%.
Wow, 404% on remote guarding.
Yeah, this really suggests some strong momentum in their newer service offerings, especially that remote guarding piece.
What do you think is driving that specific surge?
Well, the phenomenal growth there likely reflect a growing demand for, cost-effective security solutions, coupled with the increasing sophistication of AI-powered video analytics. It allows for proactive intervention, not just reviewing things after they happen.
Right, instead of just footage, it's actionable intelligence.
Exactly. We might speculate that traditional manned guarding services are proving less scalable or maybe just more expensive, making Cloudastructure's offering particularly attractive in comparison.
And it's not just about the top line, how much money they're bringing in. Their net loss also saw improvement, didn't it? It dropped from $9 million in 2023 down to $6.5 million in 2024. How should we interpret that trend?
Well, if we consider the bigger picture, the fact that their net loss is shrinking while their revenue is growing so rapidly, that indicates a positive trajectory.
Okay.
Even though they're still in the red, it suggests increasing operational efficiency, or at least that their revenue generation is starting to outpace their expenditures, which is certainly what you want to see in a growth-oriented company.
Makes sense. They also managed to secure a $4.5 million preferred investment from an existing institutional investor. What are your thoughts on that, and what might their strategy be for using those funds?
That's an important development. Receiving additional investment, especially from an existing institutional backer, can be interpreted as a strong signal of confidence in their vision.
Right, they already know the company.
Precisely. And this type of preferred investment often comes with certain rights and preferences compared to common stock, signaling a strong commitment from this investor and potentially providing Cloudastructure with more flexible capital.
And the use of funds.
Their stated intention is to use these funds to accelerate growth, so we can probably expect to see increased investment in areas like sales, marketing, and perhaps further advancements in their AI tech.
Okay. We also noted mentions of some interesting partnerships, one with a renewable energy data center and another with a residential development firm. What makes these collaborations significant?
These partnerships highlight a couple of key strategic directions for them, I think. The collaboration with a renewable energy data center suggests a focus on controlling and maybe reducing their operational costs.
Especially for AI infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. That can be quite energy intensive. So this could have a positive impact on their profit margins down the line.
And the residential development firm.
That partnership is crucial for expanding their market reach. It gives them direct access to a significant pool of potential customers within their target multifamily market. It's a streamlined way to achieve market penetration.
Makes sense. Gets them in the door. Looking ahead, the company has stated a goal to become cash flow positive by 2025. Based on what we know, how realistic does that seem?
Achieving cash flow positivity within that time frame, considering their current revenue level and the ongoing losses? Well, it would necessitate a substantial acceleration in their revenue growth and likely further significant improvements in managing costs.
So ambitious.
Very ambitious. While their recent growth is indeed impressive, it's a target that investors will be watching very, very closely in their upcoming reports.
Okay, let's pivot to the stock itself. It's described as exhibiting high volatility with a beta of 44.01. For someone maybe not as familiar, what does a beta like that really tell you about the risk involved?
A beta of 44.01 is, well, it's exceptionally high. If we connect this to the broader context of market sensitivity, it suggests that Cloudastructure's stock price is likely to experience much more dramatic percentage swings compared to the overall market, like much more dramatic.
So high risk, high potential reward
Yeah.
or loss.
Absolutely. It signifies a very high level of risk for investors. Both potential gains and potential losses could be considerably amplified.
And we've certainly seen evidence of this volatility. The stock price experienced a significant decline, what was it, 90.16% over the past year. Yet we also saw recent increases following the release of their financial results. What could be causing these dramatic swings?
Yeah, it's quite the contrast, isn't it? The substantial long-term decline likely reflects broader market concerns or maybe skepticism about the company's path to profitability.
Right.
But the positive surge following the financial report indicates that those strong revenue growth figures are generating renewed investor interest and optimism. The question is whether these gains will be sustained given that inherent volatility.
And that 52-week price range is also quite remarkable, from a low of $4.22 all the way up to $52.43. That sheer spread really underscores the significant price movement.
It really does. That wide range emphasizes the speculative nature surrounding this stock. It tells you that over the past year, the market has had wildly different valuations and expectations for the company's future prospects at different times.
And we even saw a single-day jump of 131.31% at one point.
Yeah.
That kind of movement really grabs attention. What typically drives such a dramatic single-day increase?
A surge of that magnitude often points to a significant piece of news or a sudden shift in market sentiment. In this case, it almost certainly correlated with the market digesting their positive financial results.
Makes sense.
It leads to a rapid increase in buying pressure, potentially fueled also by investors covering short positions or just purely speculative trading.
Over the last week reported, there was increased trading activity and a market capitalization growth of 20.59%. Does this suggest a more sustained upward trend might be emerging, or is it too soon to say?
Well, a week of increased activity and market cap growth is certainly encouraging, especially given the stock's recent history. But it's still too early to definitively declare a sustained trend. It could just be a continuation of that positive reaction to the financials, or it could still be part of the overall volatile pattern. We need to see this kind of activity and positive momentum continue over a longer period to have more confidence.
Interestingly, the technical analysis points out that the short-term moving average, the 50-day, is currently above the long-term one, the 200-day. That's often interpreted as suggesting a recent bullish trend, right? The golden cross.
It is, yes. That crossover, the golden cross, is a classic technical indicator suggesting a potential shift towards bullish momentum. However,
There's always a however with volatile stocks.
especially with a stock that has demonstrated such high volatility, it's really important to remember that technical indicators aren't always reliable, particularly in isolation. While it does reflect recent positive price action, it doesn't guarantee a sustained long-term uptrend, especially when we factor in the company's underlying fundamentals and the market environment. These signals can get whipsawed.
And the technical analysis also included a word of caution, didn't it? Advising maybe taking some profits if holding due to the volatility, and that new investors should exercise caution, look for stability. Seems prudent.
That conscious perspective aligns well with the overall situation. The potential for significant gains is there, absolutely, but so is the risk of substantial losses due to that volatility. For new investors, waiting for more concrete signs of stabilization before jumping in seems like a sensible approach to managing risk.
Right. Let's now turn our attention to the company overview and its fundamentals. Cloudastructure operates in markets that are, well, booming right now. AI, public cloud, and security. That sounds like a potentially advantageous position.
It's definitely a strategic alignment with key growth sectors. These are all areas with substantial future potential, and the intersection of these technologies provides opportunities for innovative and in-demand solutions.
Their product offerings seem quite diverse, too. Cloud video surveillance, remote guarding, mobile surveillance, even smart parking tech. And their primary target markets are multifamily residential, commercial properties, and enterprise clients. Seems they're casting a fairly wide net within security.
A diverse portfolio can indeed be a strategic advantage. It lets them cater to a broader spectrum of customer needs and potentially mitigate weaknesses in one segment with strengths in another. Their focus on multifamily, commercial, and enterprise suggests a targeted approach towards markets where their specific solutions are likely to find the strongest demand.
They also hit a significant milestone, commencing trading on the Nasdaq Capital Market in early 2025. That's a noteworthy step.
Yeah, that Nasdaq listing is certainly a significant achievement. It typically leads to increased visibility, better access to capital markets, potentially enhanced investor confidence, though it also brings increased regulatory obligations and scrutiny, of course.
True. We touch on the impressive full-year revenue growth, but looking at the quarterly growth rates for 2024, Q1 was 214%, Q2 was 115%, then Q3 was 54% compared to the prior year. We see a clear deceleration in the growth rate. How should we interpret this trend?
That sequential decline in the quarterly growth rate, while still representing substantial year-over-year increases, does suggest that the initial, really rapid pace of expansion might be moderating.
Which is expected eventually.
It is. It's not necessarily cause for immediate alarm, as sustaining triple-digit growth over extended periods is exceptionally challenging. However, it is a trend investors will want to monitor closely. Will it stabilize at a lower but still healthy level, or continue to decline?
Got it. And finally, on fundamentals, their earnings per share for the trailing 12 months is reported as negative 0.0998. What does a negative EPS tell us plainly?
That negative EPS figure signifies that, over the past 12 months, the company has been operating at a loss on a per-share basis. It reinforces our earlier discussion about their net loss and clearly indicates they're currently spending more than they're generating in revenue. Still not profitable.
Okay. So when we weigh the strengths against the red flags, the significant revenue growth, strong partnerships, particularly in multifamily, and their focus on innovative AI solutions definitely stand out as positives. What resonates most with you there?
I agree. The robust revenue growth, especially in remote guarding, is compelling. The partnerships provide important validation and market access, and their strategic focus on AI integration is a clear differentiator in a competitive landscape. Those are key strengths.
Conversely, the negative EPS and the extreme stock price volatility are the most prominent red flags. How should these factors influence our overall assessment?
These red flags are significant considerations, no doubt. The negative EPS underscores the current lack of profitability and raises questions about the timeline to achieve sustainable earnings. The high volatility highlights the speculative nature of the investment and the potential for big price swings, which just won't suit every investor's risk tolerance.
It does seem that their ability to form partnerships, especially with those residential development firms, suggests a positive market reception for their solutions, though.
Precisely. These partnerships act as real-world endorsements. They show their tech and service models are finding traction and acceptance among key decision-makers in their target markets.
Looking at competition, they're up against companies like Verkada and Avigilon. Their stated competitive edge seems to be the AI analytics and remote guarding. How crucial are those differentiators?
In this crowded market, distinct advantages are absolutely critical. Their AI emphasis allows for more advanced functions, proactive threat detection, anomaly recognition, operational insights, and remote guarding offers a potentially more efficient, scalable alternative to traditional security personnel. These could be key to gaining market share.
As we look towards the future, potential positive catalysts seem to be, well, earnings reports and further expansion. On the flip side, risks could include regulatory changes in security or AI and that ongoing competitive pressure.
Those are the typical factors, yeah. Positive earnings surprises, successful market entries, or new innovative products could be strong catalysts. Conversely, unfavorable regulatory shifts or increased competition from bigger players could present significant challenges.
So synthesizing all this, the overall recommendation seems to hover around a hold based on that growth potential, but with a strong note of caution due to the negative EPS and the significant volatility. Does that sound about right?
That recommendation effectively captures the current tension, I think. The growth story is compelling, offering potential upside, but the lack of profitability and the stock's wild swings create a significant level of uncertainty advisors need to be fully aware of.
And the importance of continuously monitoring their earnings and broader market developments really can't be overstated here.
Absolutely essential. Investors need to track their progress towards profitability and carefully watch how they navigate the competitive landscape and any potential regulatory issues that might pop up.
So to recap, Cloudastructure is showing impressive revenue growth and making strategic moves in the cloud-based AI security market. Definitely interesting. However, the high stock volatility and their current lack of profitability are important factors you absolutely need to consider. What aspects of this overview stand out most to you? Does that rapid revenue growth outweigh the volatility and current losses in your view, or do those latter factors give you more pause? This info provides a solid foundation for your own further research.
For me, the rapid growth, particularly in remote guarding, is a really interesting signal of market demand. It shows they're tapping into something significant. However, these significant losses and that extreme stock volatility mean this would likely only be suitable for investors with a, shall we say, higher tolerance for risk.
I would agree completely. The potential for significant returns seems to be there, but it's undeniably accompanied by considerable risks that investors need to fully understand and frankly be comfortable with before jumping in. We hope this analysis has provided you with valuable insights into Cloudastructure. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment if you found this helpful and would like us to explore other companies in future discussions.